I'm recording this on All Year's night. Um, when I'm done, I'm probably gonna do the editing for the video. I'm not sure if it's gonna be released tonight or if it's gonna be released tomorrow morning, but I'm gonna work at it and see if I can get it released tonight.
1 week later.
Hi. Hi. I know that I owe you guys a video. I would have put out that I was going to release a video earlier, but when I was finished editing the video and was like preparing to release it, it dawned on me that you forgot something really significant to include in the video. Did you forget? Did you forget what happened this year? Okay. So I thought to myself, I said maybe I should just try and do like a add-in or something, and then something happened. So before we touch on that, let me just talk about what this year has been for me. So for those of you who are into metaphysics or have ever heard about Saturn Returns, I think they call them other things in the different cultures, but yeah, your Saturn return, I think it happens like twice in your lifetime. It's basically every 29 years, 28 to 29 years, right? And it usually, some people say it can start from age 27 and go till 34. It all depends, but it's in that range that you get this real, how can I say, you get a big transition from what you know life to be to where exactly you're going. And all your old habits that no longer work for you, you're going to be tested about it. You're going to have to go through a lot. If you've been doing the work before, if you are comfortable of yourself, it's going to be a little easier than someone who is just starting from the bottom. Yeah. But I would have turned 29 in 2021. I'm going to be 30 next month. So my Saturn return is coming to a conclusion, and I thought that I should share with you guys what it's been like, what I've been through, and what makes it even harder is that I've been going through my progressions. So if you're into astrology again, your planets, each of the planets in your birth chart, they go through progressions throughout the years, and they tend to transit in different signs. So for me, I am in Aquarius Sun, a Libra Moon, and my Sun and Moon, as well as my rising sign, they have all, it's moving, like continuously moving. The Earth rotates around the Sun, but continuously moving. And I'm now a Pisces Sun, and my moon is in Scorpio. Now, this is not going to last forever. I think it depends on how long it takes for each planet to orbit around, right? Um, so you're going to see a lot of Scorpio tendencies in me. And what I mentioned, I want to just mention that I've become very secretive. So if I do share something about myself, I instantly regret it after, and it's like, did I make the right decision to tell that person my business? What if they stop me? And it's like paranoid, and yeah. So, but it's not all of the characteristics. It's just that you adopt some and it's mixed with what you already are. So let's talk about what happened. So from January to December, we go through each month, and I will say relationships have been the theme for me this year. Like, give me anything to do, whether it be studies, whether it be some kind of craft, give me anything. Once I set my mind to do it, and once I am, I've studied it and I've told myself, you know what, you can do this. It's either you require more training knowledge in the area to get it done, or you should outsource it because you don't have and it may cost more for you to invest in all these things. But give me something to do. I am going to put my best foot forward to get it done. And it's usually very easy for me to do. Okay. And when it comes to relationships, as much as I use astrology and these things, it has been one of the most, I wouldn't say it's the hardest, but I've had my areas where I've struggled, especially with myself. You know, usually we look at others, we tend to say that, oh, I'm just not meeting the right type of person. I just keep meeting these type of people, and you have to ask yourself, why am I meeting these type of people? There's an old saying that goes, you are what you attract. And I 1000% believe it, because we are energy, we vibrate frequencies, and we attract people, things, situations to us that vibrate those same frequencies. And let's say I am an emotionally unavailable person. What type of person do you think I'm going to attract? So, one is either going to be somebody who thinks they can save me, who thinks that if they provide a good amount of nurturing to me, that I would just change. And the thing is, it doesn't work like that. You can't save anyone from themselves. People have to be willing to work on themselves. So let's get started. I've been just rambling and rambling and rambling. Let's get started on what exactly happened. So, coming out of 2020, which was a very interesting year, I would have come out of a relationship that I thought was going to last, and it didn't, and I was disappointed. And I would have been given revelations about the relationship, and I was told that you need to move on. You have a real soulmate connection that's coming, and you're here hooked on this person. You all came together, you all did what you had to do, and you've resolved whatever ties to the past that you had to resolve in this lifetime. Whatever you had to work on, you've resolved it. Said okay. So January, I met someone who I've known. They've just popped up and asked me to, go out and stuff. And I've liked the person for years, but it's just that I never thought about it. I never revisited the whole situation of us dating. And yeah, we went out. It was out of the blue. And what I realized from that situation, I dated him and I dated someone else. What I realized from that situation is that although I went out with these persons, I was still heartbroken. I was still hooked on my ex. I was still hoping that maybe we could reconcile. Maybe I just need a distraction. As well as, you need to move on. But I was watching so many of these relationship videos. The ones who give advice about hypergamy and all these things. I was doing tons of research and reading up on what a man should do and all these things. And for me, it's like, I I've been through so much. I want you to prove that you really want to be with me. And I would definitely was testing um the first person, and that didn't end up going as planned. And we've just remained really good friends. But I've discovered that we became really good friends in terms of, you know, we kind of get each other, and there is some level of emotion there, deep emotion as well. And it's something I didn't expect coming down, but I'm pushing. I'm going too fast. I'm fast forwarding right now, and those situations just made me realize that I was having a fear of being vulnerable. I learned that I think January, February, March, I learned that I kind of shut off my emotions because of what happened previously, and I I got to the point that I was concerned that what if I'm not able to love again? What if I'm not able to open my heart to others again because of a fear of being hurt once again, a fear of my time being wasted, and yada yada yada. Don't we all have that fear? And I think I was looking at something and I broke down. I honestly broke down crying, and I I made an attempt to be vulnerable and tell him how I truly felt about him. Yeah, it was weird, but I'm glad that I did. And I'm moving past him. That never really went anywhere. I met someone and it was amazing. I It was really, really amazing. It was somebody much, much older than me, and he was just different from anything that I've ever had. It's almost like all the things that you were asking for, you get it in someone, and then you realize that there are certain aspects of yourself that you're neglecting, and this could never work because of it. So let's say you ask God, I want a loving thing and all these qualities, and within that you realize that, hey, this person isn't the problem, it's me. I am the problem because this person requires a lot of attention. They like to communicate often, and you require a lot of space. Yes, you want to come together, but you require a lot of space. And through that relationship, I learned that I need somebody who is almost very, very similar to me. You don't have to be like exact, but to the point that when I ask for space, you understand why, because you also may need space. And don't take it personally as I have someone else, or I don't like you, or I've lost feelings for you. A lot of people tend to take it the wrong way. And it's one of the struggles I've had in relationships. Either people get offended by it and they think that I'm cheating or something else, or people uh, they overdo it and don't know how to balance checking in and giving me space and then checking back in. So that's something I've been going through this year in particular with people, that it hasn't been balanced and streamlined. So that didn't work out. I tried, like I had this, I don't want to call it a breakdown, but I had this period where it's like, yo, I can't do this anymore. I said, you know what, let's not be rational, because for me, I was thinking, this guy is great. Why are you gonna just let him leave and walk out your life? He's a great guy. Treats you really well. He does anything for you. And I told myself maybe this feeling will go. And I stuck around more and things were good. And then the feeling came back yet again. And he would have made some comments, and in my mind, it's like, I don't want to feel like I'm caged. I don't want my relationships to feel like I'm in prison, and my partner is basically the prison guard who gives me permission to go off. And I just told myself, you know what? I just want my freedom. Maybe I'm not ready for a committed relationship. I thought I was, but maybe I'm not. And I ended things with him, you know. And then I did a lot of work. I started to just chill for a bit, take a pump breaks on the relationships for a bit, on dating. But you know how men could be. When they want something, they're very consistent, and they could harass you day and night. And there's this one particular guy that was very flirty, and he was just fun. It's very fun. I enjoyed talking to him. Eventually we started talking more, and you know, we ended up getting together I think it's a couple of months after. And it was fun. It was really fun while it lasted. Um, but I didn't expect the person to be so unstable. I've never met an individual like that. And as much as I liked them, as much as I liked him, I thought about if we had to have children. Because for me, I'm not dating to just have sex, to just say, oh my god, I have a boyfriend, to just take out pics. I'm not dating for that. I'm not seeking validation from outside. I'm dating to find my husband. I'm dating to marry. I'm dating to create a family. I'm really, really serious about it. And if I see someone, if I meet someone and they're just not what I want, I'd rather just be single than settle for less. No, I'm not looking for perfection, but there's certain traits that I just need in a partner. And as much as I like them, stability, consistency, and you know, people just, if you tell me you're gonna do this, I want you to do it. Now, I know things can't go as planned right through, but when it becomes a habit that you keep doing the same things over and over and over, that's a clear message to me. It tells me how much of a priority I am to you, as well as how serious you're taking the relationship. And in my eyes, he just wasn't taking it serious. So that had to end. I was a little disappointed because I really wanted it to work, but it was just too much. When I thought about if I'm to get pregnant and then have an emergency with baby, he will just never be around because he's always busy, you know? And it's not to say that I could call him and be like, hey babe, something happened. I can't. His job doesn't allow it. He probably doesn't allow it. He probably doesn't even want that. So I just made a decision to just end that there. And I met someone else, and it was a breath of fresh air. It was very different, and I don't think I had anything bad. It just never progressed on to a full relationship due to some things between us in terms of our outlook on certain things. But I still have mad respect for him, and I see him as a doll. I do think that he has a lot of growth to do with himself, and I just wish him the best. And with that being said, so what I just talked about is what I would have covered in the previous video. So what I did not cover in that video was my breakdown. So I know you guys have probably heard about twin flames, soulmates, all these yada yada. And there have been two persons in my life who I've just been holding on to them with their life. One in particular who I've known since I was 19, and we've just been on and off for years. And the reason why we can never work is that I always felt like he did really immature things. Like he never thought about the future. He just does things impulsively, and it used to really upset me because it's like, dude, I can't care more about your well-being than yourself. You have to care for yourself, and if you can't even care for yourself, you can't care for me. So that was our little thing for years. We actually had a heart-to-heart conversation, like a real conversation for once, because we just never did that. I was usually one, when he would piss me off, I would just stop talking to him. I'd stop talking to him, or I would pull square and just cut all communication off. And we actually had a real conversation for once, and I was hoping that we could reconcile and get back together. And one of the things he told me is that he doesn't trust me. For what reason? I've never done anything, but we have to stop trying to look at ourselves like we're the problem. Sometimes you have to leave persons. That's his reason. I didn't do anything for him to feel that way. And That's not for me to internalize. That's his own personal issue. Maybe it's abandonment, whatever it be. That's for him to work out. And we talked about it, and he was excited. Both of us were really excited. And then one day, I saw something that was really heartbreaking. I saw that he moved on with his life, and it crushed me. Because for this first time in my life, and this is something I told him, I said, oh, when we were together, all these years we do things. I said, the other problem I have with you is that our relationship has been so sex based that you have never even dated me. We do fun things together. Yes, we've had a lot of fun, but when it comes to romantic gestures, you've never been that way with me. I like romance, you know, and he told me the trust was part of that, but to see him going all out for this totally new person, it really, really crushed me. And I just felt like I felt like he spit in my face. I felt like it was a slap in my face. And I was really, really disappointed. Like even talking about it, I'm feeling all the emotions coming back. And it was really very hard because this is somebody for years that I just felt like maybe one day we could just get it right. Somebody that I I still love him, but after what happened, I just feel like it is time for me to cut the cord. It's time for me to pull the plug and free myself from the shackles of my twin flame. And it was really hard. It was one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. And the ex that I was heartbroken about last year, I saw that it was his birthday or something, and he had put up something with his new girl. And it just happened back to back. It happened so close together. Let's say he did that today, and the other one had romantic stuff with his new girl. And I was like, yo, what the hell is happening? So sudden. So I was I was going through it. And however, I think I told one person about this, but I never went in detail with how it made me feel. Never spoke about really how I felt about it, but it really, really impacted me. So I told myself I need to cut ties, cut all communication. God, I can't get a break with these cars and all the noise. Like, what the hell? So I cut ties, and I was just in a very reflective state. But compared to now, from when it happened to now, I think this was around October. Um, I'm really glad that it happened. Like it's sad, but I'm glad that it happened because it made me feel open to a new connection, open to meeting new people, and 2022 is gonna be an amazing year. I just feel it in my bones. I just feel it inside. Like I knew in my heart 2021 was gonna be a difficult year. I knew it, but I didn't know to what extent. And this new year is just gonna be amazing. It's the vibration number 6. I'm really excited for it. I just feel really excited for new beginnings, and not just for me, for everyone. And you know, things that I've learned from this year in particular is that most of us tend to have a scarcity mindset when it comes to dating. So we tend to lead on others. So we might meet someone, we might meet a guy or a girl, and they're really nice. They treat you really well, they're right looking, but it's not quite your type. There's something about them that is just not doing it for you. And but you want to keep them around because you feel like if it is, you tell them, hey, I'm not interested, you might end up alone if things don't work out with the person you want and you don't have anybody. But in turn, that's really selfish. Yes, it's hard to tell people how you truly feel because you don't know hurt anybody's feelings, but it's even worse to lead persons on. That's not fair to them. Set them free. And I've also learned that I have a deep fear of vulnerability and emotional attachments to people. There's this fear to be honest with how I really feel because I fear rejection. And it's something I had to sit myself down and think about because it's like, yo, you're torturing yourself because you are the one sitting here with all these thoughts. Just tell the person how you feel. It's either they like you, either they feel the same, or they don't. What is the big deal? And it's something I'm still working on, but I've gotten better. And you have to live your life in such a way that you just be yourself. Be true to who you are, you know? You have nothing to lose. If it's one thing we learned during this pandemic and everything, is that life is short. You know, your loved ones could leave you at any moment. You could leave your loved ones at any moment. And it's like, what's the point of living your life in fear? Like, what is the point? What is the reward? A safety net? It's not worth it. It's really not worth it. I'm not saying to not take your time and be cautious in your decisions, but come on, you have to balance yourself out. Ask yourself the questions. Why am I being so cautious? Is it out of fear, or is it that you want to just take your time, get to know the person? What is the reasoning behind your decisions? And I think that's what a lot of persons need to work on. It's very difficult. It's easier said than done, but it's really rewarding in the end. And I would have had like a post recently like, ladies, inbox the man you want. What's the worst that can happen? Rejection is just a state of mind, it's just a bruised ego talking. And that's one thing many of us need to work on. It's silencing that ego. No one is saying that you have to eliminate your ego because it has its time and place for it. But when it comes to, you know, being genuine with people and maintaining peace and these things, sometimes the ego has to go and just chill for a bit. And I know for me, that's something that I have been operating on for years because I always thought I was right. I was so stubborn. I'm still stubborn, but it's to the point that I still do listen. You know, I used to do things out of it's either my way or the highway. Nobody asked for your opinion, and I've I've really calmed down a bit. So with that said, I just wanted to just tell you guys that I'm here. I hope that I just wanted to share what's been happening, honestly. This isn't any huge thing, but I wanted to talk about my experience. Maybe it resonates with some persons, and maybe it doesn't. But it's been such an interesting year, and I'm happy for the person that I've become thus far and who I'm, growing towards. And I just wish everyone the best. With that said, this has just been a really eye-opening year. It has just been me center stage and really facing myself, facing who I am, what I'm about, what I need to change in order to grow. And I've just learned a lot. This year really taught me a lot. I wanted to just show you guys my shirt. Oh my, I lost my chain. This is my name. This is my name in Arabic. But yeah, I'm gonna show you my shirt. And I don't subscribe to the shirt, but it says don't catch feelings. Not sure if you guys can see, but I just thought the print was so cute, so I had to buy it. But I don't subscribe to Catch All the Feelings if you can, because we were brought here to love one another. Let's come out of that mindset of, egos talking. We gotta come out of that because it gets you nowhere, you know. So my advice for the new year is to silence the ego, become vulnerable, be true to yourself, seek internal validation, and work on your relationships, work on your traumas, deal with your deep rooted issues, because guess what? It's going to continue to follow you for the rest of your life if you leave it on the back burner and try to do all sorts of stuff to distract yourself. It is so much sex, drugs, partying, working, you know, really occupying your time. It's so much these things could do for you, because when you're left alone, you're left with your own thoughts, you're left with your own feelings, and these things will remain with you once you don't deal with it. So, with that said, please do have a wonderful night. Let's be safe. Let's take our time on the roads. Let us, also do what we need to do during this pandemic. And with that being said, do have a happy, blessed new year. Bye.